Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. We've been waiting for weeks, months, and it is finally time for the NFL draft this Thursday. It's getting really exciting because it is finally here. We're finally gonna see who these teams are finally going to select during this year's NFL draft. But before we get into this week's video, I want to take a second to thank everybody that liked, commented, and subscribed from the last video. I appreciate it. It means a lot. But without further ado, let's get into this week's video with yours truly, Mike's mock draft. The Carolina Panthers have the first pick in this year's NFL draft. Now, there have been a lot of speculation and rumors that they're leaning toward Bryce Young. But in my personal opinion, because once again, this is my mock draft, I'm going with CJ Stroud. I believe he should be the first pick of this year's draft to the Carolina Panthers. And the reason why is because how he finished off last season and everything he brings to the table. He's a good asset to the Carolina Panthers with everything he does. His arm strength, his versatility, he can be seen as a dual threat weapon, and he fits what the Carolina Panthers do as far as the run game and the pass game, which is why I personally believe they should go with CJ Stroud. The second pick should be a no-brainer. It goes to the Houston Texans, and they're in need of a quarterback, so it's pretty obvious. If CJ Stroud is going first, then Bryce Young is definitely going second. Either way you look at it, this is still a good pick for the Houston Texans, given that everything Bryce Young has to offer, his knowledge, arm strength, and his experience playing. Now, the Arizona Cardinals do have the third pick in this year's NFL draft, and I believe they should use it on Will Anderson to go on the other side of Kaiser White. The reason why I'm saying this is because they just lost Zach Allen from free agency, and on top of that, JJ Watt did retire as well. So you're gonna need a good edge rusher who's shifty and has some good speed to him. So without further ado, pick Will Anderson and build upon him to make a serious run in your division. And we have reached this point in the draft where there's another team in need of a quarterback. The Colts had the fourth pick in this year's draft, and it was a little tricky decision, but I'm leaning toward them going with Will Levis due to his abilities. You have to look at it. He has a very good arm strength to throw the football. He showcased this in this year's combine, and he also showcased it during the season at University of Kentucky. The Seattle Seahawks had the fifth pick in this year's draft, and after doing a little bit of research, looking at a couple key points, I do like Anthony Richardson going to the Seattle Seahawks for the future purposes. It would be good for him to polish up, learn, really just develop and hone his skills while he's sitting up under Geno Smith. And when the time may come, it would be a great thing for him to showcase everything he's done, the arm strength that he just showcased, and his dual threat ability for the long-term future of the Seattle Seahawks. Now, this next pick I like a lot, and when I really truly do mean I like this pick a lot. The Detroit Lions have the sixth pick, and I believe they should get Jalen Carter to go alongside Aiden Hutchinson. This would be a very monstrous duo on the defensive front for the Detroit Lions. I mean, we saw the tape of what all Jalen Carter was doing, moving 300+ pound offensive linemen against their will, dominating the line of scrimmage. Who wouldn't want that? I mean, let's just be honest. Who wouldn't want Jalen Carter on their team? That's just the honest truth. But if the Detroit Lions can get Jalen Carter, this would be very nice to go alongside Aiden Hutchinson. And we've made it to the seventh pick of the draft, which belongs to the Las Vegas Raiders, who have low-key been cooking behind closed doors. It really looks like it's a Patriot reunion with all the amount of Patriot people they've gotten these past couple years. But they do have the seventh pick, and I'm leaning toward Christian Gonzalez from Oregon, and the reason why is because he has great ball skills, he's good at changing direction, and he has good speed, which will be beneficial to that Las Vegas defense. Well, alright, we have made it to the Atlanta Falcons, who hold the eighth pick in this year's draft, and you may be a little curious about who the Falcons may be selecting due to the reason because they did just get Jeff Okudah out of free agency, who plays cornerback, and they were in need of another cornerback. But I believe they'll go with an edge rusher in this year's draft, specifically Tyree Wilson from Texas Tech. And the reason why, he has a very good frame size, he's very strong and explosive, causing big problems for offensive tackles, which would be a good addition to that defensive front, and he can build and learn from the veterans that are in that defensive room. They did just get Calais Campbell. They still have Grady Jarrett and other defensive players that have been on the team these past couple years. At number 9, we do have the Chicago Bears. Now, if you're familiar with my channel, I did do a breakdown on the Chicago Bears, so go check that video out. It is still listed, and I broke it down about how the Chicago Bears should go after an offensive tackle to help Justin Fields and to help keep building this team with all of the people they did just get in free agency, such as DJ Moore. So this will be a very good chance to get an offensive tackle, and I believe Paris Johnson from Ohio State is a good selection for them. And we have finally made it to the 10th pick of this year's draft, which belongs to the Fly Eagles Fly. The Philadelphia Eagles have the 10th pick, and I'm really liking Peter Skoronski for them. He has a great first kick step in that pass protection. I love his pass technique, and I really feel like this would be a good fit for them given everything they do. Even in the run game, I still like him. He is very powerful in the run game as well. And with that being said, this concludes my first 10 picks of this year's NFL draft. Let me know down in the comments what you think about Mike's mock draft. If you have any other suggestions or possibilities that you think would possibly be better within those first 10 picks, let me know down in the comments. Be sure to hit the like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you once again, and I will catch y'all later.